out on the street now, taking a casual stroll, and I'm processing, I know you are too, about everything that happened yesterday.
Yes.
And the way that you are forming your business and changing your business, the things you're potentially scared about, the
Yes.
things that you're excited about.
Yes.
And our first deep conversation today, once we get up into your space, is going to be specifically about that. And your willingness to work hard to change your business style, to change your lifestyle, for your family, for all of those things. And I know that I've said it a few times, but I want to reiterate that that is not something that you should let go unnoticed, because we talk to a lot of people who have the dreams, who have the ideas, but they don't have the follow through, or they let things get in their way while they're trying to get on their path, and it never does happen. So I want to congratulate you on that.
Thank you.
You're doing it, and you're working hard, and we're going to be going up into your space, sitting down, talking in depth about some of these things that you are planning for, some of your fears, some of your accomplishments already, because that's important to note. It's all a big puzzle that you're putting together here. So congratulations.
Thank you.
On a fun day yesterday.
Yeah.
Before we go upstairs, in like a quick paragraph, how are you feeling this morning after what we did yesterday?
Amazing. I had to check the videos to make sure it was all real. I was making sure I wasn't dreaming. It's incredible. Absolutely incredible.
And your social media was blowing up last night.
It absolutely was. Yes, it was blowing up.
And you already had a huge victory from that we'll talk about in a little bit.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely. So, well, thanks for having us back. Yes. Let's head upstairs, and we're going to get into the weeds and talk about doing the hard work first.
Yes.
All right, let's go.
Okay.
We talked briefly out on the street before we made our way up to the studio. Like, what are your thoughts? Like, walking in this morning to this whole new redesigned space, like, what is it energizing in you?
Just the whole atmosphere is so different. Like, you walk in and it is so much more professional and clean and like high end, if you will, in comparison. Like, not that it's changed my work, but it's changed what I can offer as far as, you know, it's more full service, I guess, if you will.
Right. And I would assume that it probably changes even your perception of your work, seeing it large and on the wall.
Yes, absolutely. Like, opening images that big, or like the big metal prints on the wall yesterday, it literally took my breath away. Like, whoa, that's my work, and it's printed, and it's clear, and it's gorgeous, and like, that was really something to be proud of.
Yeah, absolutely. So I've had the honor and enjoyment of working with you for the last few months, and we're just going to talk a little bit about some of the milestones and the things that you've been doing in just a very recent history to change your business. Because I think that's really important for everybody that's watching along with us today, and for you to be able to explain in your words, because I can talk about it all day long, but it's your business. And there's decisions that you've made that are risky, that are going to positively impact everything that you're doing. Mm-hmm. So let's talk about the most simple thing to start with. And simple, I'm going to put that in kind of quotes here because it's really not. Let's talk about words and changing your words. So our first discussion that we had, and hopefully it's all right that I share this, you began the year and you were disappointed in where your print sales were at.
Yes.
And you were having a hard time getting people to come back in for their sales presentation or to see their images with you.
Yes.
You were getting pushed back and people weren't following through with that. So that was leading to a decrease in your print sales.
Yeah.
Now, before we dig way deep into that, last year, I know what your number was, is what you did in print sales. Mm-hmm. I also know what this year is so far, mm-hmm. and we're not even into August yet. Mm-hmm. You were in a decline to begin with, and right now you are within $3,000 of what you sold total last year.
Yes.
And that change has been significant within the last 6 to 8 weeks.
Yes. Most 75%, I think we figured yesterday.
Yeah, it's incredible. And for everybody that's listening along, pay very close attention to this conversation that we're about to have, because this was the first thing you did, and you started texting me. You're like, oh my gosh, it worked. Like, all I had to do was change my attitude, my posture, my words, my how I approach, my delivery, and people just follow along with you. Mm-hmm. So that first thing that we talked about was how to get people back for their print appointment. How did that go? Like, how did that feel the first time that you basically didn't present it as a question?
On the inside, it's terrifying. Mm-hmm. And I guess I was scared of, you're scared of no, but if you don't ask, the answer's already no. Yep. So I had to remember that. And I never want to disappoint anyone or make them feel pressured to do anything. But I found that by offering it, not by posing it as a question, but as an opportunity and saying, like, telling them that this is what we're doing, it was an opportunity for them that they graciously accepted and were excited about, which made me excited. And then I was like mind blown that just happened.
Right. So if you can remember back to prior to our first conversation about that, how did you present that option to people? Like, at the end of their session, you said
before
you. Yep.
Before you, it was an option. Would you like to? This is what we can do. Would you like to come back and see what we have to offer? Is basically, without giving the whole boring spiel.
Yep. And now what does it sound like?
Now it's, we love to be with you the first time you see your images, and that is not a lie. This is what we do. And we will get you on the calendar for about 2 weeks from now. Mm-hmm. And we will debut your images to you in a music video, all the things. Yep. And we can't wait to show them to you.
Yeah, absolutely. So there's no question there.
No.
It is, we're looking at 2 weeks out. Here are some time options. Which one would you like?
Yep.
Yeah. And that right there, mm-hmm. I can remember the first time you text me, you're like, Matt, it worked. Like, I'm having people book these reveal sessions, these sales sessions, like they're everybody's coming in.
Nobody has said no.
Yeah.
One, but she lived 2 hours away. Okay. So I didn't fight it too much. But since then, and it's been numerous because this is 6 to 8 weeks now, I'm mind blown that we've had one no in there, which again, 2 hour and a half, 2 hours away that they drove here. So,
and that's reasonable.
That's very reasonable. Yeah. That doesn't mean she said no, though, because Zoom meeting for a print appointment. So nobody has said, like, they just do it. Like, they don't, and they want to. Like, that was the most mind-blowing thing to me. I've been missing all of these opportunities, and I feel bad now because clients want to.
Right. But this is change your perspective.
Yes.
And again, I know what your sales were last year, mm-hmm. and we had a discussion yesterday, and we have a little wager on this about where you're going to end up this year, and it is more than 4 times what you did last year. Actually, 4.5 times. Yep. And I think you're going to do it.
I am going to do it.
Yeah, and that's why you're successful at this, and that's why you're going to take this to the next level, is because you have that attitude. You're willing to put in the work.
Yes.
Yeah. So everybody that's listening out there, if this is inspiring to you, think about how this looks, from your business perspective. So it's not just putting display prints on the walls. It's not just having people come back for the sales appointments. It's not just being an excellent photographer. It's not having a cool studio. It's all the things put into one. And I also want to point out, and I have your little brochures here next to me on the table, during this process of your redesign, you weren't just hyper-focused on your walls and your images. Oh, no. We talked about cost of goods. We talked about your pricing. We talked about packages, sales, like all the things. You got like the crash course boot camp here. Boom, we're going to do this.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we changed a lot.
Yeah. And I remember specifically the first text that you sent me after, you started to go down this path. You're like, I can't believe this. I just sold a $4,000 order and they tipped me $500. You know? That's fantastic.
Phenomenal.
Yeah.
I had no words. I was like, are you sure? Like, He's like, yeah, you just did a lot of work putting that together for me. And I'm like, wow, like, fantastic, but wow, just mind blowing.
And in your delivery, I'm sure that, you know, your personality and everything, I mean, people fall in love with you in the studio and everything. All right, so let's talk about these and your redesign and your upping the game with this. So to begin with, what was this printed on before?
Some paper. Yeah. I mean, it was,
It was like a trifold.
It was a trifold piece of paper off of online ordering.
Right, yep. So very simple thing, and I'll just show this to the camera. This is just a 5x7 press card, folded card, smooth matte paper, and you redesigned all of your pricing, packages, and explain to everybody who's listening, we have 3 different ones. So what do these 3 represent to us?
It depends on my client who's here. Okay. So if I have a client who is just here for newborn, then I have that. Okay. If I have a client who is coming back for their full year, I have that. Okay. And if I have a client who is just here for a cake smash, I have that. Got it. Those are all of our biggest clients.
Awesome. So you're taking what could be seemingly a very complicated process. If it was all into one and you're separated into one of 3, this client gets this, this one gets this gets this. So it keeps it very simple. And just this simple change and redesign, and by simple, I'm not trying to minimize because this is work for you, but this, just this one thing makes the experience go up. Yes. In my opinion. And I know that you're working on folios that you're going to have this in, so you'll be able to hand that to somebody during the sales session. So everybody that's listening, if you see where we're going here, like this is not just a place that you're just going to drop into and not understand the level of service you're going to get. From the initial contact to pricing menus, to the session, to the sales presentation, to the delivery. I know your husband does installations. Like you're full service across the board. And that is so important. You know, we talked in depth about experience-based businesses in a lot of our conversations with different photographers. We are in an age and time where experience is everything. Everything. If you don't have the experience to go with the product, you're missing half of it. You know, they are uniquely tied together, and you do a wonderful job of that here, and I'm sure your clients love you immensely. It was so fun to watch all your social media stuff last night when you were posting, and you're like, oh, this is my friend, this is my friend, this is my friend. I actually did put one up there that wasn't my friend, but it's really cool that you have that relationship, and that's so important. It's vital.
Yes.
You know, I'm sure you get a lot of hugs during the day.
I do. I do. When I get them from the littles, it means the most because they're stingy with their hugs. But I do have to point out I did say the friends that I tagged that are now my friends, they all started as clients. Right. You know, I'm not from Minnesota, so I didn't have any friends when I moved here. And now all of my friends, I would say 90% of them started as clients. And some of them are my very best friends now. And it's crazy. But yeah, when I'm tagging them, I'm like, I swear I didn't choose all my friends for my walls.
But that's okay too.
First. Yes.
So like, as you're listening, make sure that you're taking this all in, because this is not just putting groupings on the wall. It's not specifically about sales. It's about building a whole experience, not only for your clients, but for yourself. Oh, yeah. Because if you guys love what you do here, it translates very easily to your clients. Oh, yeah. And that cannot help but succeed. Yeah. It will have only one direction, and that is up. Yes. So congratulations.
Thank you.
You did a great job, and we're proud of you.
Thank you.
Yeah. So thank you for listening along. Again, if you're inspired by what you're seeing here today, the redesigns and the process of building your business and sales and all those things, please reach out to us. We love to help. That's what we're here for. We're here to help you succeed as a business. So definitely reach out to us. Let us know. We'd love to hear your story and your why. So thank you for joining us, and we will talk to you soon.